The Jags are reeling after a dirty tackle and yet another loss at home. Joining us to talk about what the game means for the beleaguered team is News for Jax sportscaster Alessandra Pontbriand. Alessandra is joining us this morning by phone. Good morning, Alessandra.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry I couldn't make it. I am battling a nasty cold, unfortunately.
I am sorry that you're so sick. I appreciate you calling in anyway, especially after last night's disappointing, but not a terrible loss. I mean, in terms of the score, right? Out of the realm of possible losses, it was a 23-20 loss for the Jaguars. That wasn't really the big story of the game, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The big story, I think, of all of the NFL yesterday was definitely the hit on Trevor Lawrence, which was just a nasty hit. And I think everyone collectively knew right when it happened that it just was a cheap shot by Aziz Al-Shire. I think after the game, Josh Allen called it a really bad hit. Evan Ingram called it, just a cheap hit, not a good hit. And Doug Peterson said that it was just unfortunate, and it was. Trevor Lawrence obviously is in the concussion protocol. We don't know really anything after that. Doug Peterson's going to speak to this afternoon, so we'll know more. But I would assume that Trevor is going to be out, definitely this next game, but probably, I mean, at this point, I would just shut him down. They're 2-10. There's no hope for the season at all, his health in the future of, the franchise quarterback, I think is a little more important than the next 5 games.
Wow.
You saw Mac Jones have a pretty good game at the end of the game when he had to step in for Trevor. So I think that I would just go with Mac Jones just
And
after, how bad of a hit that was.
right, and for people who didn't see the game, Trevor was running the ball, but had
Hmm.
sort of begun to slide down,
Yeah.
as they will do to avoid a tackle, and that didn't stop this. I don't know if it was a late hit as much as just a hit that appeared to come after it was clear that he was already going down.
Yeah, so it was in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, and Trevor Lawrence was scrambling, and they are told, quarterbacks are told, and they're taught to slide, especially if you see a defender coming, just slide. Usually, the defender would just like jump over him or just at least try to stop. It didn't seem like Aziz even tried to stop. He did issue an apology. He said that from his side, he didn't realize that Trevor Lawrence was sliding when he did, and that he's a physical football player. He says he's going to hit you as hard as he can, but he never hopes to hurt anyone. He did issue an apology just about an hour ago to Trevor Lawrence and to the team. But at the same time, it's like he has a history of this. He did this to he had a tough hit against Caleb Williams this season, earlier in the season, that sparked a team fight. And after the hit, it just was a full out brawl. I was filming on the sideline. And I mean, both benches cleared. Both head coaches were in the middle of it, trying to break up their teams. The only thing I think a lot of people saw was that he didn't really show any remorse afterwards. He actually continued to fight, and I think that's the one thing that people are a little upset about, rightfully so. It was a cheap hit, but hopefully Trevor Lawrence is okay. I don't think he meant to personally hurt him. Obviously, I don't think any football player wants to knock someone out like that. But hopefully Trevor is okay. And I saw him walking out of the locker room with his wife Marissa after the game, and they were walking out of the facility to go home. So he looked okay. He tweeted yesterday that he's feeling better, and thanking everyone for the prayers.
Yeah. Some Jags fans, I mean, this was a home game, were actually throwing trash, um, as he was making his exit. Not Trevor, excuse me, but Alshire, when he was
Mhm.
leaving, that they were actually throwing garbage at him. Is that something that you saw too?
So I didn't see that. I was on the other side of the field where the Texans locker room is, so I didn't see that. I saw video afterwards of people throwing like water bottles and I guess food. Like I said, I didn't see any of that, so I don't know exactly what they were doing, but I did see that caused him to get angry again. I think he got hit with a plastic water bottle,
Yeah.
and he just started fighting with the fans as he was leaving.
Right. And so the Jags also lost their running back coach. Is that right? Jerry Mack.
Yeah.
So why was that just a coincidence timing that was something that came out as well?
Yeah, I guess you can say coincidence. A little bizarre. So in the fourth quarter, Kennesaw State made it official, saying that they introduced their new head coach, which was the Jaguars running backs coach Jerry Mack. Yeah, I don't. Maybe Kennesaw State didn't know that he was playing in a game at that time. It's a little bizarre timing.
Mm.
My boss, Justin Barney, he tweeted, he was like, man knows things are falling apart in the 904. The Jags running backs coach taking a job in the fourth quarter of the game. Yeah, we didn't get to speak to him. We don't really speak to assistant coaches. Doug Peterson briefly talked about it and just that he knew and, wishes him well. But yeah, very bizarre.
Yeah. Well, a difficult game. The Jags will face the